starting with word problems. If you pull up on Classroom, I did post a couple things this morning. There is a notes handout there. What I did is I just gave you all of my typed up examples. So when we are going through this, you don't have to like struggle to try to write down the full example. You might just make a note on your paper that the examples are posted in Classroom, and then you can just write example 1 and you don't have to copy down the full problem. Okay, it's typed up in Classroom. So we are going to go through kind of a series of steps when we solve these problems. We are trying to make it as easy as possible because I have found by the time you guys get to me, you already know if you like word problems or not, and most of you think you're scared of them and you hate them, but we're going to learn that they're not so bad. We are trying to take it one piece at a time so we can solve these things. The steps that we're going to go through, and this is typed up and posted on that handout in Classroom, so you don't necessarily have to copy it down. You get a point on every problem, no matter what, if you identify the variable. If you are going to have an x in your problem, I better know what x is. So that's an easy point. X is whatever you're trying to find. Express the other unknowns in terms of the same variable. If I'm asking you to find 3 different things, a linear equation has how many variables in it? 1. I don't have x, y's, and z's all in the same equation. We just have x. So if there's multiple things that you don't know how to do, you have to put them all in terms of the same variable. Step 3 is setting up a model. That's like writing your equation. And then we have to solve it. The final thing, we check our answer, make sure it's reasonable. I want you to, I really should put a step 5 up here, answer in a sentence. My rule is if I give you the problem in words, I want you to answer in words. So on every problem, you can get 2 points even if you don't have any clue what you're doing. If you tell me what your variable is and you write a sentence at the end. Those are easy points on every problem. Okay, so here is our first example. Remember, if I were taking notes, I would just say example 1 because it's all typed up in Classroom. If the length of each side of a square is decreased by 6 centimeters, the perimeter of the original square is 8 less than 3 times the perimeter of the new square. What is the length of the side of the new square? Does that make any sense at all when I read it like that? No. So let's not. What I want you to do is read one sentence at a time and figure out what it's telling us. So the length of each side of a square. Let's even just stop right there. We have a square. So what should we do? Let's draw a square. Okay. So the length of each side of a square is decreased by 6 centimeters. So I took that square and what did I do to it?
Decreased it by 6.
So I made a new, smaller square. Okay. Now let's identify our variables here. I don't want to call one of these x's and one of them y. I want everything in terms of one variable. Did I know how long the sides were in the original square?
6 centimeters.
I know it decreased by 6. Did I tell you how long it was to start with?
No.
So let's call that x. So to get the new one, I don't want to call it y, we decreased it by 6. What does that mean? Whatever your length was minus 6. It's a square, all the sides are the same. So there's step 1, identifying the variable. Step 2, everything is in terms of that one variable. So we're already halfway done here. Now we have to write an equation. So it says the perimeter of the original. How do you get perimeter? Yep, add all the sides. So here's our original. So the perimeter, you could either write x plus x plus x plus x, or I could say I have 4 of those sides, so it's just 4 times x. Is means what? Equals. 8 less than. What does that mean?
8 minus.
Okay, we're subtracting. Now, careful. Less than, you flip the order. Okay, if I say you have $5 less than me. It's not 5 minus how much money I have, it's my amount minus 5. So we're going to subtract 8. 3 times the perimeter of the new square. Okay, what's the perimeter of the new square?
X minus
And we have to add up that x minus 6 4 times. So we get 4x minus, I didn't leave myself enough room. So if you add it up, you have 4x's minus negative 6, 6, 6, and 6 will be 24. Is everybody okay with me? So now, this is just an equation like we had yesterday, we're ready to solve. So we start by distributing, so we get 12x minus 72 minus 8. So if we subtract our 12x, divide by negative 8, and x is 10. Am I done? Yes, we're done solving, but how do if I give you a problem in words, I want you to answer in words. So look at the question. I want the length of each side in the new square. X is the side in the old square, so what's the new square?
4.
Yep, x minus 6, so 10 minus 6 is 4. So the side in the new square is 4 centimeters. Any questions there? So sometimes it works out to draw a picture for our data. Sometimes a picture isn't really reasonable. So let's take a look at this problem. So we have a rental car company. And they are going to charge $20 per day and 30 cents per mile for renting their car. Janice rents a car for 3 days and her bill comes to $72. How many miles did she drive? Is it reasonable to draw a picture here? No. But the first step is you have to identify the variables. So we have to say what we're trying to find. So you pick your favorite letter. What do you want to call it?
X.
X. And what is X? What are we trying to find? Yep. So I'm going to call it the number of miles. Okay, then we have to write our equation. There's no other unknowns, so we're going straight to the equation. She rents the car for 3 days, and she pays $20 per day. So what would I have to do with those? And she also has to pay per mile. So plus, how much does she pay per mile? 30 cents. So we have to do 0.3, 0.30, times my number of miles, which was X. And equals, how much does she owe?
72.
Perfect. So if we subtract our 60 60. Divide by 0.3. And x is 40. Alright, so the sentence, we asked how many miles did she drive, so Janice drove. X is my number of miles, so it's just 40 miles. Alright. Questions on that one? I want you to read this one and see if you can draw a picture. So Al paints with watercolors on a sheet of paper 20 inches wide by 15 inches high. So pretty much everybody had a rectangle on their paper. And it is 20 by 15. He then places this sheet on a mat so that a uniformly wide strip of the mat shows all around the picture. What does that mean?
Shows the same amount.
Yes. You are taking that picture and putting something behind it. The mat goes behind it, and there's the same amount showing on all sides. So I have a second rectangle behind this one. So it's going to be bigger. Okay. And I didn't say how much was showing, but I said it was the same on all sides. So what could I call that amount? X. So X is the distance between the edge of the mat and our picture. The perimeter of the mat is 102 inches. How do we get perimeter? Add up all the sides. So I need the sides on this mat. So let's think about it. From here to here is a distance of how far? Then from here to here is how far? That's just 20. And then from here to here, it's X. So altogether, how far is it across this paper?
2x plus 20.
I'm looking this way. From here to here is how far?
X.
From here down to here, it is
15.
and then from here to the edge is X. So how far is that?
2x plus
Alright, so perimeter, we have to add all the sides. So this is also a 2x plus 15 and a 2x plus 20. So we can write all four of these out. You could recognize you have two sides that are the same, so you could do 2 times the 2x plus 15. Plus, these two are the same, so you could do 2 times the 2x plus 20. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width equals the total perimeter, 102. So now if we distribute, we get 4x plus 30. It's 4x plus 40. So if we add like terms, 4x plus 4x is 8x. 30 plus 40 is 70. Subtract over the 70. Divide by 8. And x is 4. Am I done? No. I have to write a sentence. question was, how wide is the strip of mat showing around the picture? X was the strip of mat. So the strip showing is 4 inches wide. Questions? This is where I want to stop for today. So, if you look on Classroom, I posted that notes handout. There is also an assignment posted, section 1.6 assignment. You are not doing all of it. For tomorrow, I want 1 through 4 done. So you have the rest of class to work on. If you didn't get that question, the homework done yesterday, and you need to ask some questions, you have time to do that. And then these 4 problems. Make sure you're defining a variable, either telling me X is this or drawing a picture and labeling it.